Hi everyone! This is the video that I'll be talking about the seventh and the last of the 7 habits of highly effective people. It's called Sharpen the Saw, which basically means that you're exercising all 4 dimensions of our human nature regularly and consistently in a wise and in a balanced fashion. And here are this is a diagram representing the 4 dimensions of human nature. The first one is the physical, which basically means I'll talk about all 4 of them separately. The first dimension is the physical, so be taking care of our bodies, eating right, resting properly, and exercising regularly. Without doing this, you end up in quadrant 1. From the third habit, you end up being problem-minded and and so on and so forth. All it takes is 3 to 6 hours a week. You don't need special equipment. You need a program that'll build endurance, flexibility, and strength. Endurance basically comes from aerobic exercise and cardiovascular exercise, or which basically means exercising the heart through large muscle groups. So to get your ideal heart rate, it's another interesting point that's mentioned, you basically take 220 minus your age and times that number by 60%, or by 0.6, and that should be your ideal heart rate. Flexibility comes from stretching. When you warm up before, it helps loosen and warm the muscles up. When you cool down, help dissipate lactic acid so that you're not stiff or sore. Basically, strength is basically muscle resistance. Depending on what activities you do, some activities might require more strength than others. It will really affect the whole emphasis on strength. So the essence of the physical dimension is to regularly exercise and preserve and enhance the capacity to work, adapt, and enjoy. When you select an exercise program, it should be carefully considered to avoid an unnecessary pain or injury, and it should be based on the latest medical research. It should be also based on your doctor's recommendations and your own self-awareness. When you increase your body's ability to adapt and do more demanding things, the normal activities become more comfortable, more pleasant, and you have more energy. That's the physical dimension. So next we go into the spiritual dimension, which represents oh, and by the way, that is the physical dimension relates mostly to habit 1. Spiritual dimension, basically the core, center, and the commitment to your value system, which provides leadership to your life, and this is a dimension related to habit 2. You draw upon inspirations that uplift you and tie you to the truths of humanity. When you draw upon the centers of leadership, it renews us and refreshes us. This is where personal mission statements become valuable. And next is the mental dimension, which is related to habit 3. It's about taking care of our minds, redeveloping, re-educating ourselves. And see, most of our mental development comes from the first 20 years or so of our life for most people. And once after that period of time, most of us let it atrophy, let it fly out the window, basically. Some activities that could help would be reading broadly, exposing yourself to valuable minds, which is valuable in addition to writing, because it affects our ability to think clearly and to reason accurately and to be understood effectively. And by using our own autobiography to project on other things and people, we just limit our understanding, limit the benefits of it. Another interesting fact, TV can be meaningful depending on what it is you're watching, or it can just be a complete waste of time. It's a powerful social influence. So basically, any of the first 3 habits The habits of independency will help sharpen the physical, spiritual, mental dimensions, doing 1 hour a day. And the last of the 4 dimensions in human nature is the social/emotional, which focuses more on the habits of interdependency, on working with other people. It's where your emotional life is developed from and manifested from, basically from relationships with others. Of course, you don't need as much time renewing this dimension as you would with others, because with this one you can just basically do it through regular interactions with other people. And yet the success relates more to a sense of security and not so much to intellect or emotion. Your security comes from within ourselves, from accurate paradigms, from correct principles, from inside-out congruency, and from a life of integrity. So a few things I'd like to mention about this habit. Now, there's basically synergy in renewal, and as you improve any dimension, it'll positively impact the others, as all 4 dimensions are interrelated. So, from being proactive, you can exercise leadership and management, which allows you to do quadrant 2 activities from this habit 7, activities that are important but not urgent. And when you seek to understand, it allows you to look at synergistic win-win solutions, which is basically a combination of habit 4 and 6. So when you improve independence, working on the first habits 1, 2, and 3, make you more effective to interdependent situations of habits 4, 5, and 6. And you can take habit 7 and renew everything. Renewing the physical dimension reinforces personal vision, habit 1. Renewing the spiritual dimension reinforces personal leadership and the ability to use imagination and conscience instead of memory, which is habit 2. To understand paradigms to values to create a center of correct principles, to define mission, to live in harmony with correct principles, and to draw upon sources of strength. Renewing the mental dimension reinforces personal management, habit 3. Reinforces quadrant 2 activity recognition and organization and executing activities around priorities. Economic security lies in the power to produce basically the daily private victory, which is the first 3 habits for 1 hour a day, or more a day, I should say, is essential in developing the 7 habits. It's in the circle of influence. It's a quadrant 2 focus, needed to integrate habits into our life and become principle-centered. Foundation of daily public victory. It's the foundation of the public victory, which is habits 4, 5, and 6. The source of security necessary to renew the social and emotional dimension, gives personal strength to handle interdependent situations, which basically means that you're looking at others through the abundance mentality, as there's plenty for everybody. You value differences and being happy for other people's success. So basically, renewal empowers upward spiral of growth and change, and we need to look at our conscience to progress along that spiral. Here's a diagram of what the spiral looks like. Basically, education is important, and it requires concentration, balanced discipline, consistent and honest living, regular reading of inspirational literature, noble thoughts, and living in harmony within its voice. When you move along the upward spiral, it also requires learning, committing, and doing. As you see here, learn, commit, do, all over the place. And we think we deceive ourselves, we think anything is sufficient. And as you grow and develop along that spiral, you must educate and obey conscience. As an educated conscience propels us along the path of freedom, security, wisdom, and power. So that is the 7th habit. the final habit. And I'll put the description, I'll put the applications or exercises in the description box below. See ya!